Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I'm popping everything back out here. We are live. Shout outs in the chat. We got Joey's out there, Jerry Lawrence, R. Willoughby James, Gareth Martin, James Rivera. What's up, brother? Thanks for sharing the show out there in a couple of different spots that I forgot about. Tam's out there. Alan Gorby's in the house. Happy birthday once again, Vaping Buckeye. Happy big 4-0. I remember when I was that young, them good old days. I saw Socrates out here earlier, Colby. So how's everyone's week been?
All right.
Cesare, I want to make that custard of oh my god, holiday pie.
Oh yeah, I saw that recipe. It looks
I have
good.
it pulled up. I'm gonna mix it.
Oh, Mary Beth's out in the chat.
Mary Beth,
we miss you, Mary Beth. We're gonna try to hold down the fort without
I'm from Atlanta too, by the way. R. Willoughby James.
Yeah. What's up, Vaping Trucker? What's up, Mike? Going on? Good hanging out with you yesterday over there on Mixing with Me Mates. That was a fun show yesterday with Ty.
Yeah, it was.
I got to catch like the first half of it. Then my kids started trying to kill me.
Yeah. Chevy Man's out there. What's up, Chevy? Josh Rhodes. So how's everyone week been?
Pretty good. Picked up a new toy at ECC last Sunday.
Nice.
This thing is like, oh.
It's cool looking. What did I just call that? A dollar mod?
Yeah.
I like it. No screen. It's just, the dial and a button.
I have the 3 battery Zenith mod.
Yeah, this was a dual 2700. Luckily, it came with them because I don't have any. So I need orders for more.
Yeah, it's a good thing it came with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a Zenith V3 from iJoy. Anybody was wondering. And I highly recommend it. I think the mod, I actually got the kit. Here's the tank that comes on it. The tank's actually pretty nice too. But, the mod by itself, I think it was sold on Element for like 45 or something. It's not that. And then plus it comes with batteries. And you figure the batteries are like $20 alone. So
yeah,
they're pretty good price. And it feels like pretty well built. I don't know. I'm liking it.
Oh, I just got in trouble with Kathy over there on the DIY Down Under. I forgot to put the hashtag in my challenge recipe.
Well, I tried to help you out with it. So.
You did, yeah. That's what she's saying. I tried. Hey,
it's a process.
Yeah, I don't do challenges because I don't know. I just never did.
That's what I was just talking about with the different
I'm like, it would be easy. Let me just throw something together for that because I always go by the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
So, 3 flavor recipe. That's right up my alley.
Yeah.
The more flavors you add, more chance you have of screwing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Moose just said the virus scan is killing me, Smalls.
Oh no.
He always has an excuse. Only it's either his internet.
Internet sucks.
I'm telling you.
Moose season.
Yeah, it's getting ready to be moose hunting season. You don't get his shit right. Going to see liquid antlers all over the New York Thruway. Yeah, I didn't get anything new today, but except this week. Except a lot of people already saw it. Got my tat done, got my ink. Yeah. I was up in Jersey this week. Got to hang out on the Jersey Shore a little bit. Of course, I had to wear long sleeves being on the beach. With the new ink and everything.
Your new ink.
Yeah, that's the first one in like 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. So
wow. Let's see. You can see. I should show mine today. You can see mine there. My little butterfly. That was I've had this one over 20 years now, I guess.
Oh, nice.
Maybe longer than that. Heck, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, Beth she's got a bunch of tattoos. My wife.
Yeah.
When her mom passed,
around my ankle, one on my arm. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got her shoulder done. She's got her thigh. She's got her back a little bit, a little thing on her back shoulder and her ankles.
Going by about how much percentage of my body I think's covered.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
my
I'm around like
God.
70% or so.
Well, are you trying to keep up with Grim Green? That's
I was going to say that.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't know if
with the bow tie here. Yeah, there you
that's
go.
what I'm gonna do when I retire. I'm gonna get my neck tattooed like the day I retire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go show up to pick up my last paycheck. It's like, fuck it.
Spending that last paycheck in the tattoo shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a big middle finger on there. And
I got this one I've been working on. So I had another session on Thursday.
So did you see the profile they were doing yesterday from his suggestion on Fresh yesterday? That was interesting.
Yes. I like that root beer banana. I might have
root beer banana. That was interesting. Yeah, I want to try.
It sounds scary as fuck, but I think it's actually going to turn out good.
Yeah.
Root beer banana. That was his suggested recipe profile or something that they went with.
Rock on.
I'm going to throw the advocacy out there now because we've been talking about it a lot, in the different groups and on Instagram and everything. Join CASA because it costs you nothing to join if you're not already a member. It costs you nothing. If you want to donate, great. They can always use it. But yeah, definitely go over there. And if you check out Jen Berger Coleman on Instagram, she's got a sign that you can print out. At least you can get your printer to do it right. Mine's been coming out all jacked up, but I gotta find a way to rescale it. But it's basically, I quit smoking. I smoked for blank a number of years. I quit smoking using blank flavored vapor.
Yeah.
And because the federal government's trying to come down hard now. I mean, they're not messing around. They, even after everything we've done this year with, flavor surveys and comment periods and everything, they're doing what they did with trucking. They're just really like, we're going to do what we want to do. So fuck you. And so now we just got to fight back. Get a hold of your local politicians. Like I have a councilwoman here who fortunately is pro vaping. And she is actually in tune with the larger shops in the area that advocate. And she's been, she's talked about the individual shops on the floor of Congress. And so fortunately we're good there, especially being in Tobacco Road. You would think it'd be the opposite, but she's not a young kid. She's she's an older woman and she's been in Congress for a long time. But if she can see that there's benefits of vaping, being old school North Carolinian, grew up on tobacco money.
Right. Yeah.
By RJ Reynolds is in my backyard. And there used to be, until this year, about 1,000 yards from here, there was a tobacco farm that supplied tobacco to RJ Reynolds. And this year they're not growing.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess maybe because they're not selling as much, they don't need it, or they're getting it elsewhere, maybe cheaper.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. But the funny thing is they're not trying to ban or get rid of cigarettes. It's just that's the crazy thing.
Well, because the tax revenue. I mean, it's all coming
exactly.
down.
That just goes to show you it's all because we know for a fact what cigarettes does to your body and to your lungs.
We've known for 50 years.
We know this, and the government hasn't done squat. Not one thing. I mean, to ban it, to do anything like that, and now we have this that's going to impact the industry of big cigarettes and pharmaceutical. You got that too. And now the government's going to no, we got to do something about this.
Exactly.
It's bullshit.
It is. It's total bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
Yeah. I'll get off my soapbox from
I look at it this way. If they want to tax vaping, that's fine. As long as it's a fair tax.
Exactly.
And granted, I got into it for two reasons. One, to save money, which that didn't happen once I got into the hobby side. But two, to be able to be around longer. I got tired of seeing close friends and family members being affected with COPD and congestive heart failure and high blood pressure and heart disease. And I lost my mother to cancer. When I was only 24 years old, she was 58. And my father was 66 and died from congestive heart failure. And he wasn't worth a shit the last 15 years of his life.
Yeah. And the education is what's so bad. My mother and father called me this week, and I hate to pick on them. I really do, because they mean well. But there's so much lack of education, and I know we're not talking about flavors, and I'm sorry.
No, we are talking about flavors because this all ties in together.
Yes, it's really important, and I feel this. My parents are very. They never smoked. Okay, they never have, but their family has. But one of my mother's aunts or cousins, her cousins died this week, and she was her age. She was like in her 70s. And she died of lung cancer like within 2 weeks of finding out that. And so my mother, she texted me, oh, one of my cousins passed away and it made me think of you. I'm thinking, why did that make you think of me?
Exactly.
And my dad calls me the next day, and the reason it made her think of me because I'm vaping, and therefore it's going to happen to me. I'm going to have lung cancer. I'm going to die like that because I said, Dad, do you not realize if everyone who smokes were to switch to e-cigarettes, to vaping, we could save millions and billions of lives? Yeah. No, that's not what they're saying on the radio.
No, of course not.
Not at all. No, I can't even listen to the radio anymore because
I said that
hard out here in California, like at least 6 times an hour or something. It seems like I don't know. Probably at least.
I mean, this is just ridiculous.
It was like anti-vaping.
Yeah.
And that's like I caught up with an old friend the other day, and she's still smoking, and she's my age.
Wow.
She just had her daughter gave her first grandchild, and she wants to quit smoking. And I said, vaping really does work. It's been 19 months since I smoked, and I don't even crave a cigarette anymore. Not even my most stressful times, I'm not craving a cigarette. And I can drink, I can do everything, just like maybe vape a little bit more, but that's about it. And she's like, well, that's just as bad as smoking. And I said,
right.
I wanted to jump down her throat. And I said, no, listen, you haven't been educated properly on vaping.
Exactly.
And I have another friend that is on Shantix. She's smoking more on Shantix than she did.
See, and that's even worse.
And her biggest fear is that it's going to blow up in her face. And I told her, it's like, if you're using a regulated device or even a pod system or something, there's not enough power that it's going to, even if it completely fails, it's going to shut off before it melts in your hand,
Yeah.
So, and I try to explain it to her, and she's like, oh, well, I don't know. And, and it's been months now. I've been going back and forth, and it's just like,
you can also give them the tinfoil hat explanation. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm late. But
it's okay. We love you.
I love it. The tinfoil hat. That's a good one. Go for it.
But it's true though. All the other alternatives to quitting smoking, they're all owned by smoking. They're not some fantasy company that came around and were like, we're gonna help you save your life. Like, no, they're all owned by big tobacco. Chantix,
Nicoderm, all that.
Nicorette, they're all owned by big tobacco. So you really think the one company that's trying to get you hooked on smoking is trying to get you off it too? No, they're not. They're just trying to sell you another product to keep you coming back.
Exactly.
Money's money. They don't give a crap.
In the chat on BBC, over in the UK, BBC Radio 4 on Thursday, there was a fairly positive piece about suggesting smokers to switch over to vaping. That's the thing in the UK. If they were the first ones back in the 50s that said smoking was bad for you, the Royal College. They were the first ones. Let me adjust this camera. I'm gonna go check this. But so for them to be on the forefront with it now, with vaping, like they did 50 years ago when it comes to smoking, the rest of the world needs to pay attention to that. They need to look at that and say, you know what? They were right then. There's a good chance they're right now. So, kudos to, the UK of being, on the forefront there, because I was reading today, I started following a couple of days ago. There's a thread on DIY. It was on one of the advocacy Facebook groups, and they were talking about South Africa. One of the big advocates from here was over there, and basically the government right now, and it's like they're getting mixed stories. Like one part of it, the government really doesn't know anything about, enough about it to have an educated decision, so they're leaving it alone. But then I also heard back on DIY or Die a couple of months ago, they had one of the big South African advocates on saying that they were getting ready to shut everything down over there. So it's, it's hard to say. exactly, demonization of it. That's what they're saying this is. Just like they did with alcohol during Prohibition. And when I was down the Jersey Shore this week, my stepson, he went into the Wawa, which is a convenience store chain, and he was getting his morning coffee and everything before he went to work, because he gets to work down at the beach in the summertime. And a woman came in who was 20 years old from Pennsylvania looking to buy Juul pods. Well, in New Jersey, you had to be 21 to buy Juul pods, so they didn't sell them to her. Which, I mean, the law is the law. I guess she needed to be more up on it.
Yeah, well, we've had the 21 out here for a few years now.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I knew people who were like 20, like right when like months away from their birthday when the law, so they could like literally buy cigarettes one day and then the next day, like, couldn't buy cigarettes. It was crazy. Yeah, vaping and everything, it's all 21 now. I don't know. Anyways.
All right, let's get into the real topic at hand today.
Light berries.
The light berry.
Have a serious discussion on what the fuck a light berry was.
Yes.
Dark berries, like we were all like, no problem. Blackberries, blueberries, boysenberries. We're like, all right. And it was like light berries came up, and we're all like in Messenger with each other, like, need some ideas. I don't know where I'm going. Like,
it all just goes back to flavor of boysenberry.
I brought a strawberry and cream, you guys, for
I gotta look at this recipe.
But I think all of us took a different take on it than just using strawberry.
I think we all went way different with it, which is good. So, I don't know. I'll go first.
Where's Mary Beth?
Mary Beth is hanging out with the family.
Of course.
She was in chat a little bit earlier. I mean, family comes first. This is just a little side hobby there. So, La Familia.
I brought a metal straw with me today because
you don't need Mophead may call the straw police on you out there in Cali.
I'll come after you, man.
Fuck New Jersey. I love turtles.
I'm still getting straws everywhere I go. It's only like, I think there's like one city that did it, and everybody freaked out about it. But
you're gonna wake up with.
But they'll eventually probably try and make it statewide. You're
gonna wake up with 13 turtles pouring cement around your feet.
Use that plastic straw.
This motherfucker and his plastic straws. Hey, my connection's doing pretty good. What did you do differently, Mophead?
What did I do? I'm in your signal all the time.
Oh, okay, cool. Keep it up, because my connection.
Those viruses you got, apparently.
Dude, this thing has been running for 6 hours and it still has 8 hours to go. So it better find something seriously wrong with my computer.
Right?
This is the longest virus scan I've ever done.
Wow.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think my computer's just been neglected.
I went ahead. I was setting it all up. And I was going to hit it, and all of a sudden it hit. So
go ahead.
This is what I did. I went with a cranberry Greek yogurt. This is not light and tart, and it's turned out really nice.
Wow.
Looks good.
Yeah, the two apples. Grant, that's not a berry, but I threw it in there to help support the cranberry, add that tartness to it, because the two apples is more prominent on the green apple side, so you get that tartness like a Granny Smith or a not necessarily like not a golden delicious, a green apple. The marshmallow vanilla to add a little bit of sweetness to it without just throwing sweetener in there, and to help smooth it out, and flavor of cream, and of course your yogurt based. The Greek yogurt is the only yogurt I have, and it's my favorite actually, because I've tried some other ones. And
so you go low with the Greek yogurt because of the tartness and the cranberry. Is that kind of you're thinking about going so low with it because you're already going to have that tartness and the cranberry
exactly. I figure it's enough. It's still enough of a at 2%. It's still enough that you're still going to get a yogurt flavor out of it, but without the over the. I mean, I liked it. It did turn out very tart, but not like puckered tart like you just ate a Sour Patch Kid or something. You just have that nice amount of tartness in it, and it's and get the light sweetness. You taste the cranberry, you taste the apple. And everything plays well in this recipe. I was really impressed with it. I was really shocked. I just came up with it yesterday and mixed it up and let it sit overnight. And I put 7 days for a steep. I could probably adjust that. Maybe in a week it'd be even stronger, but it's good pretty much right away.
Looks really good. I like it.
Yeah, take that down. So that's basically that's what I did there, and I let the wife. She's my taste tester, and she tried it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that turned out really good."
Doesn't look too bad. I saw you pick up that one-on-one vanilla marshmallow. See people putting in everything.
You got to get that. That's a must-have.
Yeah.
I was big in it when I first started using it, because I had heard that one of my favorite commercial lines, they use that for their sweetener. So that's why I bought it. I'm like, oh well, if they're using it, then I have to use it. But then I kind of went away from using it for a while. This first time I probably put it in a mix in 5-6 months. But I have a 30 ml bottle of it, and I have a 10 ml bottle, because when I ordered the 30, they sent me a 10. So I got a hold of one-on-one, and they sent me a 30 right out.
Oh, that's good.
No, they're pretty good. If you contact, they'll listen to you and stuff. They actually pay attention. I saw, like I said, dude, they're literally, I think, probably 30 miles from me. I need to go check them out.
I heard Nick Rivers moving again. They moved in that warehouse in Simi Valley. Now they're moving somewhere else. Ty was talking about last night.
Yeah,
he was really close to it. All right, so I went totally different with it. So I did a strawberry white wine, and kind of inspiration for this was I single flavored Flavor Art white grape a few months ago, and I did it at 3%, and I was like, yeah, that's straight up like white wine at 3%. So sure, if you want grape, you could probably take it lower than that, but at 3%, like you definitely get a little bit of an alcohol taste, and it's kind of like a cheap white wine. I didn't have any other wine to
like Boone's Farm.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, this whole thing kind of reminds me of like Arbor Mist, because I put that real flavor soda base in there to give it like a little bit of like fake fizz you can get out of it. That lasts like 2 weeks and then goes away. So yeah, this is definitely, you might want to let it steep for like maybe like 2 or 3 days and then vape it within like the first week. That fizziness,
nice.
It disappears. And then I wanted to go kind of lighter on the strawberry, so I went Capella Sweet Strawberry and Flavor Art Juicy Strawberry. So, and then a little bit of Fuji to kind of like boost up that strawberry a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely there. It's kind of like that cheaper strawberry taste. So I kind of want to maybe try subbing the sweet strawberry for like Shisha strawberry or Red Touch or something.
Or just TPA strawberry. No,
fuck that. I don't like TPA strawberry. I get wax it tastes like wax to me.
Really? I don't get that from it.
Yeah, I don't
Moose is the one that turned me on to the TPA strawberry.
What's that?
Moose is the one that turned me on to the TPA strawberry. I started using that a lot more.
You can all
his suggestion.
You can all do your TPA strawberry.
Mary Beth said, "Dang, it looks good, son."
I was hoping she'd be on today because I was like, "Oh, I did a wine. Like Mary Beth's gonna have something to say about it because I did a wine."
Of course.
TPA strawberry is a good example of how the hyped up strawberries make you forget about something like TPA strawberry. Like Capella's sweet strawberry and TPA strawberry, right? We get it. They work. But they don't work for everyone, and they don't work for every single situation. And that's where I feel TPA strawberry fits in the best, because that's one concentrate that's doing a good job at being a strawberry.
Yeah.
At whatever percentage you want to use it. Just don't go above 7, because then it tastes like mustard.
Huh. I don't know if anybody does a slow berry to try to emulate a slow gin. That'd be interesting. I have to look that up. Yeah, see if maybe, I know nobody over here that I can think of actually carries it. Maybe something like Chefs. Maybe they can somebody off, or DIY Vapor Supply. I know they get somebody off-brand stuff in that from different parts of the world. Maybe there's someone over there that uses it that has a concentrate. Cesare says she likes the flavor cranberry, about 2.5, and with 1/2 to 3/4 of flavor pomegranate. Oh yeah, that would work. Yeah, I don't have any pomegranate though.
I do. Yeah, I got
the
pomegranate.
You might even be able to use like a dragon fruit or something in there too, instead of a pomegranate. If you don't have a pomegranate, a low percentage to boost up the cranberry.
But that apple does work pretty good, actually, too. Because I did the same thing. I put a little bit of apple. I put Fuji in mine, but that little bit of apple kind of helps those berries out.
Oh, sorry, Chaz. I didn't know. I always saw that name. I just always assumed it's his wife. In the yeah, I never saw the. I didn't. I see the little thumbnail, but I never really looked at it. You just hear that name. My bad. Oh yeah. All right. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, just leave me hanging out there, Chris. I appreciate that. I'll put my dunce cap on for the day. Might be able to use one of these for that. Just like roll it up.
How long you smoked for?
Yeah. Oh, it's an Italian name? Okay.
Okay. You want me to? I'll show you what I'm working on. It's not ready.
Okay.
But I'll share it. It's getting there though. And I have to say, I kind of stole a little bit from Cesare. Am I saying that right? Because I looked at his holiday pie and I was like, oh, he used to wear a custard with custard premium. And I'm like, oh, I might try that. And so I stole that. I'm sorry. I borrowed it. How about that? I'll say that.
There we go.
So let me go here and I'll do screen share. I got to figure out how to do that. Where am I at? Share. Here. First, it's going to show a picture of what I'm attempting to do. Oh, and then I got to hit share. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm slow today.
That's okay.
Okay. It's a mixed berry croissant pudding. And this is it on ELR. So mixed berry croissant pudding. And that's like a picture of it like in the process and when it's finished and everything. So when I actually started this, I went with Harvest Berry, and I do not care for Harvest Berry, and I'm sorry for all the Harvest Berry lovers. So I ended up switching with Forest Fruit.
They should just rename that the Soap Berry.
What's that?
They should just rename that to Capella's Harvest Soap Berry.
Yes, I agree. I mean, no matter what I did, I just was like, this is just not working for me. But it's the croissant. I use the super concentrate Wonder Flavors. And it's a really great, buttery, nice croissant. But I wanted to add some texture with the top and for the breadiness. And Cereal 27 is like excellent at that low percent, 1%, to add that little bit of texture for a bakery. Especially for Wonder Flavors. And I don't know why. I've used it with a pretzel and I've used it with this, and it just works beautifully with those two concentrates. And I don't know what it is. They work so well together. But Cereal 27 works great with that concentrate. And the brandy flavor art at 1% to go with the forest mix and this juicy strawberry kind of helps give it that baked fruit texture taste. I mean, you could use, what's the other one? Is it Oba Oba?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I went with brandy because I wanted it a little bit different.
That brandy, does that taste boozy, or is it just more of a...
It has a little boozy taste, especially if you go a little bit higher with it.
Yeah.
It'll give you a little bit more boozy taste. And I think that's probably why I went with that too, because I just thought it would go really nice with the custards to kind of give it, especially if you look at it with the recipe that I was doing, it kind of has more of that custardy, like glaze, not a glaze, I guess I'm going for that, like oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm not getting my words out good today, so I apologize. So a custardy fruit note in there. And there's probably a ton of other ingredients that could do this, but these are ones that I'm working with for a reason. So the things are working really well right now. And so if it changes a little, I will let everyone know because it's not published yet.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that's it. I'll stop sharing. Okay, stop share. There we go.
I would just like to touch on your usage of Capella's Cereal 27. You can pair that with anything and it'll be just fine.
What's that? Cereal 27?
Yeah, you said that it for some reason it pairs excellently with the other thing, and
Right.
I'm just convinced you can fucking toss Capella's cereal 27 in any recipe. It'll be fine.
Yeah. It just does things. It just does something, especially with bakery things. It just like adds that little extra texture. I mean, it's not going to make it taste like cereal. I mean, unless you go way too high with it.
What I like about it is it's like if you like forget the names of flavors,
right,
kind of focus on what it tastes like,
right.
like the perception. Like cereal 27 does have its own texture to it, so you can use that concentrate for that in a lot of different situations. Like if you don't want a lot of acetylpyrazine, that's one of the lower acetylpyrazine flavors that contains it. So.
Right.
But I've seen people use it in like all around fruit recipes just to give the fruit some like gritty texture, like not not trying to make a cereal out of it or anything, or a bakery or anything. They just wanted to give some bite to the fruit that they were vaping or something. Like just as an example, like you can really use that shit however the hell you want. And
that's awesome.
Oh, our Willoughby James had a good question. I want to make a cranberry bread, but what's the best base to use for that bread flavor and texture? It's directed towards you, Miss.
What in the what?
To make a cranberry bread. Yeah, cranberry bread.
Oh, screw all that. You just go get doesn't Flavor Art make like a Christmas bread or something? A Stoke bread or something? What is it called? It's that popular bread around Christmas.
Yeah, almost like
stolen. It's like stolen.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
It's like very dry bread. It's like I don't know how else to describe it. But it's got fruit in it.
Like.
Here, I'll find it. Continue.
Okay, I was gonna even say Limbus bread from Flavora. That's almost like a
Isn't that a fantasy flavor though? That's like supposed to be like what bread would taste like in the Lord of the Rings.
Limbus bread?
Yeah,
isn't that like it's a fantasy? It's not a real thing.
I want a blueberry in it. It's like a blueberry. I don't know. It kind of tastes like a blueberry scone to me.
Yeah, but it's not a real thing though.
Yeah. It's from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's what the elves make.
But the Flavora concentrate, I don't think it's like a muffin.
Yeah,
almost.
Honestly,
it's I mean, whatever you get from it is what you get from it, but it's not a real like Limbus bread isn't an actual thing we have.
Right. Yeah, but we're not looking at names, right? So just
no, fuck it. It's not real. I'm not vaping it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm searching right now on Bull City to see if I can find it.
You're not gonna.
Yeah, Vape Train has Christmas pudding, but I've heard that's very.
The Limbus bread you'll find in Bull City, but the Flavor Art one you're gonna have to go to e-cig or
okay.
DIY. It's one of those kitchen.
Supply, yeah,
it's one of those kitchen flavors.
There's Wonder Flavors. PG baked bread.
Yes, that one. That's a very plain bread though.
Super concentrate. Yeah, but you could like. Wait, what is Cesare?
You can almost use Wonder Flavors pretzel because that has such a bread note to it, and you could probably use that with a cranberry and almost get a cranberry bread.
Which one is that?
Using the pretzel, the Wonder Flavors.
Oh yeah.
That has such a bread note to it. It's more of a bread than it is a pretzel.
TPA's graham cracker clear.
Yeah, you could throw that in with it too. With the pretzel, I think.
And you can use DX sweet cream, not the original TPA sweet cream, but the DX sweet cream. For some strange reason, it tastes like bread. Yeah, I don't know why, but it does. If you let it steep, it will taste like bread to you. For some reason with those DX free versions, they all have this like Wonder Bread taste to them.
Yeah, someone else said VG version of bread from
Real Flavors.
Real Flavors,
yeah. Yeah, there's that too, the baked bread.
You can only get that at DIY Vapor Supply.
Why the fuck who wants to really vape bread? Come on now. You don't want
well, I see what he's going for. Kind of like how was it TPA has the banana nut bread that's really good.
Yeah, but you're gonna dump so much sweetener on that damn thing that it's gonna be a muffin after that.
Yeah.
It's basic
bread anymore.
I'm thinking Limbus bread from.
You're a trooper. Whoever wants to do this, you're a trooper for wanting it. But I'm just letting you know, the second you drop 1% of Capella's Super Sweet or Flavor West sweetener in there, that is now no longer bread. It is now a muffin or a cake or.
Well, I think that's what we're going for is like maybe a fruit cake type.
All right.
No, they said not. It's like an earthy bread.
Ugh. I'm trying to
not as heavy as fruit cake.
The more we talk about this, the worse it's sounding.
Oh, come on.
All right, let me find this stupid flavor of bread crap.
Well, Moose, since you got in late, how's your week been?
Great. Just fantastic.
Besides your virus scan issues, the rest of the week was all right?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but I convinced my boss to get a new commercial lawnmower, so I'm pretty happy at work.
Oh, good.
One of my coworkers raised a fist at me for the third time, and I was like, "Oh wow, at least I got you to get off the rider." The way I look at it, it's like you're so mad about everything else, and you won't get off the rider to work or anything. But man, the second you think that I'm pissed off at you for something, that gets you off the rider. But other than that, it's good. I've been fixing a hell of a lot of things around here. So
yeah, I gotta call a plumber and get a new hot water heater.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there's not gonna be any hot water till tomorrow.
That's great. Well, after I was fixing leaks in this house and fixing a leak out in our pool, our hot water heater decided to shut off. So I had a few choice words with that water heater.
Yeah, I went into the garage where ours is, and I looked, and there's not real good lighting in the garage. So I threw a flashlight on my phone. I look, I saw water on the floor. Yep, it's shot. It's gone.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it's not flooding, but it just it's leaking. So, and there's no hot water in the house.
You know that it's nothing that it's not like just relighting the pilot or anything. You got to get it.
Yeah, it's gone.
Ours, our light kept shutting off, and you could hear that it wasn't turning back on. So I was like, "Oh, cool! This is exactly what I want to do after fixing leaks and shit."
Kenny, I thought about a tankless, but did they make a tankless to use with electric? I know they use them with natural gas. I don't even know if they make a tankless.
I think they do. If not, you can get a converter.
Yeah.
Converts the power over to it, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $4,000 or $5,000 on, because I'm not going to be in this house more than another couple of years. Once my daughter goes to college, gone. We're selling this bitch. What's the sub-babes asking? Have you tried acetylpyrazine and other than small percentages like 2 or even 4? You start running that high, you're going to get cornflakes. Well, not cornflakes. You're going to get corn chips. You're going to get Fritos.
Yeah, stay below 1%.
Or you're going to get Green Green's smelly sock that he just gave away.
Unless your intended use, unless you're intending to get that out of acetylpyrazine, don't go above 1%.
Yeah,
there is recipes out there where people purposely to go past that 1% to use those odd corn chip notes as a base for something, and they actually do work. You just got to be careful.
Yeah, I can imagine you can almost do it if someone actually try to make like a real savory vape, like a chips and salsa or something. Yeah.
All right,
Giancarlo, get on that.
TPA acetylpyrazine, Flavor Arts bell pepper.
Yes, there you go.
Flavor Arts tomato.
Yeah.
And whatever, something else. Give it some Mexican taste to it. I don't know.
Maybe throw some of that brie cheese in there, get some queso action going. Why I don't do savory vapes? It'd be horrible.
I'm never even come close to getting one that worked out.
Yeah, I might as well just take the VG and just dump it down the sink and save the effort.
I'm getting closer.
Sub Babes is thinking about the challenge now. If you come up with it, we'll spotlight it.
Yeah.
I ain't saying I'm going to mix it, but I'll spotlight it.
We will tell people about it.
Yes. Oh, we got Swagalicious in the house. What's going on, Vaping Swag? Yeah, Vaping Swag was kind enough to send out their new line. I got the Giztard, or the Giz's Custard. That's actually a really good vanilla custard. Giz told me there's like 11 flavors in it. Yeah. And wow, it's good. The one I like out of the 4 that I had sent was a Golden Joe from a breakfast line. That's like a caramel macchiato. And oh man, that is really good. I got that running on the drop. About 80 watts, and you get the sweetness from the caramel, and you definitely get to taste that coffee. I wouldn't pair it with a coffee, but have it later in the day.
Joey doesn't pair with coffee. I don't want to vape it.
Yeah, well, it is coffee, so
yeah, but not all coffee vapes pair with coffee.
No, I'm saying that. No, I'm saying I don't vape coffee if I'm drinking coffee. That's when I do more bakery stuff or butterscotches, RY4, stuff like that. No, it's that free. That's why
I liked everything you said except for the part where you didn't say blueberry yogurt.
With coffee though? Blueberry yogurt with coffee?
I've been preaching this forever, and I will continue to preach this. Everyone out there, do yourself a mixing favor. You don't even have to mix my blueberry yogurt. I don't give a shit what you do. But just mix blueberry and a heavy cream, preferably a yogurt, and drink, vape it, or no, drink coffee, and then vape your blueberry. And
there you go. I'll pull up. I got a recipe I can pull up for that.
And pay attention to your taste buds, because they are just going to knock your socks right the hell off. You might even add them to the donation of Grim Green's socks over there. They're going to be so good. I'm serious. Just do yourself a favor, okay? So good. You drink, especially if you're a regular coffee drinker. It's gonna get addicting, and I'm sorry / not sorry for that. I'll remind everyone next week too to do it. Okay, I'll just keep telling. This is the year of blueberry yogurt and coffee. Do yourself a favor. Change your life. Still looking for that flavor art shit.
Yeah, and I'm looking for a blueberry yogurt. I know it's
just Breek on ATF by Oddrop.
No, you have one. Yeah, you have yours. I'm looking at Fresh's. The one I've mixed. It's a Blue Addy yogurt.
I don't know about that one because it's got the kiwi and the strawberry going on, doesn't it?
No, not the blueberry one.
Oh, okay.
I almost went too far. Now,
Richard's awesome.
Maybe I haven't seen that one then. I've always seen the Addie's yogurt. I don't think I've heard about the Blue Addy yogurt, but I can't find it anywhere.
I think I might still have some downstairs in my steeping cabinet. Because that's one of them things I can vape it for a while, but then I get tired of it after like a couple of days.
Yeah. That's why you should probably just vape mine.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's been vaping it for the past 3 years strong. Like nothing, pretty much nothing else. So that kind of speaks volumes to me. I have to switch it up every now and then. I can't. I love it, but I gotta. There's other great things in life.
Switch up. I usually have at least 4 or 5 different flavors going at once.
Yeah, at least 3. Definitely 2 rotating, but at least usually 3.
Yeah, I got 3 in front of me right now.
Greek recipe?
They're all 3 completely different too.
Oh yeah, this is it.
I just feel like this ECX is showing me the same flavor art flavors over
Here we go. I'm going to put this up real quick. This is Moose's blueberry Greek yogurt recipe. It looks good.
Oh yeah, that's old. See, that might not be updated. That's Breek.
Yeah, that's the only one I could find on your ELR.
Okay, well, the ATF one has the updated. That's the old one. That it's still good, but it just kind of uses some unnecessary things.
You know, those 2 yogurts, I know I don't have them. I have everything else.
Those are the only yogurts
I
you
don't have
ever
the
need
fresh
in
fruit.
life. So about yogurts, even though this show has nothing to do with yogurts, but those 2 yogurts that I'm using, if you're trying to make yogurt vapes, those are the only 2 you need. If you're trying to use yogurt additives in recipes, I recommend the other ones. I think that they do a way better job. I like TPA's Greek yogurt and all, but I don't know, man. I vaped at least probably 16 ounces of that crap, so my bloodstream has more butyric acid in it than any man should have. That shit has so much butyric acid in it, it's ridiculous. And when you use a different yogurt outside of using that one for so long, you kind of see the light on yogurts. It's great and all, it has its use, but I feel like it's better as an additive in recipes. Just like Capella's creamy yogurt, it's good to add that creaminess to cheesecakes or other things, or if you're just trying to get a yogurt note into your recipe. But for straight up yogurt, man, Flavor West and the old school Flavor Art yogurt before they reformulated it, that's the OG on yogurt. It's just perfect, like perfect.
All right, Swag, I threw a wrench your way, so you can go ahead and you can pimp the site.
So how long do you let that steep, Moose?
I vape it right away, but it's definitely better after 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the yogurt will definitely form and pop more in 2 weeks and stuff, and all the creams will kind of pop a bit more.
Right.
The blueberry will be a less malic acid tasting. There's something that we left out of berries in general, whether or not they be dark or light berries. In my honest opinion, blueberry is always going to be the most fragile and kind of top note flavor out of all the berries out of there, because it's very easy to like destroy it. Like it's a very fragile flavor. You can cover it up very easily. But they have a lot of versatility to them, being that some people make their blueberries very bright. Some of them make them kind of in the middle there, and some of them are very dark, like we explained on last week's show with the dark berries. But all in all, blueberries are the most fragile. They're the kind of the hardest to work with and to, allow them to shine in a recipe. But I think, like, as far as like the brighter berries go, Flavora's boysenberry kind of takes the cake on all the, because it's not a raspberry, it's not a blueberry, it's not a strawberry, it's its own thing, but it still kind of hangs out being the brightest out of all the ones I've at least tried, next to like Capella's blueberry and Capella's blueberry jam. Those are, while they're not that good, they're definitely bright berries. So
Kathy has gotten up in the middle of the night to check us out. Welcome, Kathy.
There was a question. Sub vapes. What do you mean about old? They make both yogurts. Flavor Art continues to make both the reformulated version and the old one. Just you can't get the old one from Bull City. You have to go through ECX or DIY Vapor Supply.
Oh, my bad. I thought they didn't even make it anymore.
No, they still do.
Okay. Yeah, I thought they completely stopped making it.
Oh, if they did, they're worried about a lawsuit. Come on now.
Oh, so they really do still make it. So it is still being made.
Yeah,
it's available.
It's part of their, like all those the old Flavor Arts. They're always gonna make those because those were their kitchen line flavors before vaping was a thing.
I'm thinking like when I'm buying this, it's like old stock. It's not old stock. It's
No.
No. Just like the V1s just like the V1s and V2. Technically,
right.
Capella Vanilla Custard is Capella Vanilla Custard old. It's not version 1. Like, well, yeah, it's version 1, but that would be the best way to put it into examples. Is they are the old versions. They're not old stock or
Wow. So
Swag says if you want to add a bright note to fruits, add a 0.25%.
Stop selling a lot of Flavor Art stuff.
Who did? Oh, ECX?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on ECX right now, and everything that I've bought from them in the past and what I go for them strictly for Flavor Art stuff is still there.
How do you know it's still the old?
If it's not like so if ECX puts a little warning caution thing in the corner of the ones that contain diacetyl, and that's how you know that they're the old versions.
Okay, I got you.
Also, ECX doesn't carry both versions of one flavor from Flavor Art. So if you see Flavor Art yogurt, it's the old one. It's not going to be the new one off of ECX. If you go to Bull City and you type in Flavor Art yogurt, it's going to be the new one. It's not going to be the old one because Bull City does not sell all those.
Right, the bad stuff.
Well, no, they sell the stuff in it, but no, they just don't sell a lot. They don't sell the kitchen line stuff.
Heathens, not selling the good stuff.
Now, look what Swag said about adding a 0.25% distilled white vinegar to brighten up your fruits. I've heard that one before. I think Fresh had mentioned it before. Maybe he got it from Shane. I don't know.
You can do that, but if we're talking about berries, citric acids and lemons and vanillas are always going to be a better option.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of adding outside additives. You know what I mean? Like if some vaping company or a flavor company didn't formulate that shit for at least culinary usage. I mean, I know white vinegar is culinary, but still, I don't know, something about that just doesn't rub me the right way at all. Saline is one of those too. I've done it before, but I don't think I ever will again after seeing what it did to my coils. And
I heard it's rough on the coils.
I don't see come on. Are you really getting that much of a benefit out of it?
No, I mean, if you wanted to go, if you didn't want to use the saline, you want to use something that's a little bit kinder on the coils, just get Lorraine's Tart and Sour and mix it with your chocolate. If you're going, you look for something to brighten up the chocolate.
I thought people used it for a salty note.
I always heard it used for chocolate.
Yeah, I've always seen it with chocolate.
I always used it for when I got an arrow in the knee, but that's a different video game.
In Hall said Flavor Art Panettone.
There it is. That's the one.
That must be the one that you're thinking of.
Panettone.
Yeah, Panettone's a good cake, Italian cake.
Okay.
Yep. But that, to me, that has the most bread going on in a concentrate.
Yeah, it does.
The other one I would say is to get bready notes into stuff I Know Where's biscuit, Jungle Flavors biscuit, sugar cookie at low percentages. You can definitely bend those to get bready on you.
Yeah.
Especially Capella's sugar cookie, seeing as you gotta vape and use that shit up in under a month, or it's just gonna turn into bread on you anyway.
Right.
It's not gonna be sugar cookie anymore.
Kathy got it. I haven't heard it called tongue fatigue, vapor's tongue.
Yeah, vapor's tongue.
Yeah.
It's all the pirate's term of losing flavor in your mouth. That's right, Joey. When I take an arrow to the knee, that's the only time I use saline. Somebody caught the Skyrim reference.
What berry note is used in Animals Looper?
Strawberry.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody would know, it'd be you, Moose.
It's strawberry and lemon, nothing else, really. Probably berry crunch and the millions of clones that you've seen. They are ridiculously close, but they're still not Looper. And that's okay.
Think they're using any fruit circles?
Yeah, and no one will listen to me about it. I keep telling people, if you use Capella's fruit circles, just do yourself a favor and stop going above 1%. Just stop it. It's not doing fruit circles. It's past 1%, you're vaping the power of Pine Sol and nothing else.
Yeah, I was going to say lemon pledge. Yeah.
I'm sorry, TFA, but this is the harsh reality of TFA fruit circles. Okay, it is power of Pine Sol in a bottle. No matter how you use it, you're not going to get the texture of Fruit Loops. You're not going to get the kid nostalgicness of Fruit Loops. None of that shit. All right. Just let it go.
Because I had a sample bottle of the TFA fruit circles, but I've never used it.
Yeah. So TPA Berry Crunch, that's the texture of cereal that everyone's looking for in most commercial cereal vapes. That's where that comes from. And it's the minute amount of acetylpyrazine that they're adding or they have in that concentrate. But so when you look at Looper clones, they're all like a jacked up percentage of TPA's Berry Crunch and then a little bit of TPA Fruit Circles, or vice versa, where it's a jacked up percentage of Fruit Circles and a low amount of Berry Crunch. Forget all of that. Stop doing that. Those are flavors that are in the juice, but they're not the main things that you are tasting. If you take TPA's Fruit Circles and use it at 0.25 or 0.5%, you get that very lingering fruit circle taste, like that Fruit Loop-esque flavor,
like the generic one that you'd see in the store.
Yeah, and if you smell like or try all the commercial Fruit Loops vapes out there, they're pretty much all using TFA's fruit circles to some extent. But for Looper, man, like, someone just walked through my house. Not too sure who that is, but I'm just gonna.
Somebody just come put a bag over him, move his head, and travel.
If you guys see something, you tell me right away.
Everybody's gonna be calling 911. We don't know where he lives, but we know that he's.
So with Looper, like everyone's like, I think like the reason everyone's been having a hard time recreating it is because they smell it and they taste Looper. And they instantly go, oh, TPA fruit circles, that's definitely in there. But with all cloning of juices, you got to understand what you're trying to clone. Are you trying to clone a fresh bottle, something that was made just that day and shipped to the store, and you happen to buy that freshly made bottle? Or is it a bottle that sat on that shelf for about 3 months? So
there'll be two totally flavors.
Yeah, so what you're trying to recreate might be an aging process or a newly made process. Yeah, sub vapes, I've used Silly Rabbit. It is weird stuff. That's another one though that I'll talk about that you can have some success with if you just use it super low. Don't go above 0.25 or 0.5%. Take all those Looper clone recipes and all the percentages that they use it at a high amount, knock them down to 0.5 or 1%, use it as that like accent that's at the end of your exhale in a recipe, and I guarantee you'll come 90% closer to a Looper clone than you ever have before in your life. That's it. To stop using concentrates in the way that you think you're supposed to use them, and bend them or use them in a different light, like use less of them, because if you think about some of these companies too, they're not going to waste their money on a bunch of concentrates to sell to you. They're going to use as little as possible to make the best product that they can and then sell that to you.
Because bottom line, why waste,
Yeah, right.
Make it as cheap as possible so you can get the highest profit.
And then knowing a little bit about Animal, who the mixer really is, and it's Philip Rock. Kind of how the guy mixes is he's like that hick dude. He kind of focuses on certain companies and will like use a handful of one company's flavors at very low amounts and see what he can come up with. And Looper was one of those things. I don't think he just used TPA concentrates for that recipe. I have a feeling he used a mixture of TPA and Capella, but that gives you an example of where to start and where to stay. Like to not, it's very easy to like use a bunch of concentrates, and then once you get somewhere with a recipe, you're like, now I got this, but now I think it's missing this and that. And then you start to branch out into other companies, and then all of a sudden you've completely just changed the recipe around. To sub vapes, believe it or not, I've never had a looper. You're not really missing much. I don't really see the hype on that juice. I've tried it a million times, and I'll give it to them. It is a smooth cereal vape, but it is not a Fruit Loops. It is a smooth hint of TPA fruit circles and lemon vape. That's what looper is to me. I don't get any cereal grain from it. I don't get the milk that I get from it is vanilla custard. I'm sorry, but you're not fooling me. And yeah, that's what I tasted most, was like a heavy amount of vanilla custard or like creams and stuff, or vanilla ice cream, some strawberry, a little bit of lemon, and then like literally 0.25 or just 0.5% of that TPA fruit circles, and maybe 2% of TPA berry crunch, and that's it. That's looper. Try it. I could be wrong, and I probably am, but I feel like out of all the clones that I've seen, no one's tried that yet. I don't care to clone it. I have my own Fruit Loops recipes that I think are way better than looper. But that's my advice for looper clones, and no one will listen to it. So I would love to see someone try it. Just keep those Fruit Loops concentrates low, very low.
Yeah, that's kind of like what's it called? American, I think, by Humble. That's supposed to be like a Fruity Pebbles or something like that. Yeah, there's a cereal note to it, but then there's probably about 5% sweetener in it. And
yeah, that's what I mean. Like all of these, like Looper, and then all of like the other cereal ones. There's a new company out. I don't know if they're a new company, but there's a new line of cereal, and it's called Cereal Science. And I will give them the hands on it, because they are the only, like, out of all the cereal vapes I've tried out of a shop, they're the only ones that have hit the mark on like a whole grain cereal taste. Like they're getting very close to all the cereals that they're naming. They got like a Frosted Flakes, a Fruit Loops, a Trix cereal, and then just like a basic cereal one, and then like a Berry Crunch as well. And they're all like, the Berry Crunch one isn't very good, but the cereal note in it tastes like the cereal that's in all of the other juices that they have. So I kind of hand it to them for that, because like it's not all the other shit that's out there. It's not another Looper clone. It's not another Bluebird or something. It's not like, this like heavy usage of Berry Crunch cereal and then like some custard thrown in there. Like they're actually hitting some cereals, and I don't know how the hell we're talking about cereals on a light berry zone, but here we are.
The train came off the tracks a little bit.
That's okay. I have an old recipe to share that I just revised. I haven't tried it yet, but we can talk shit about it. Actually, we can't talk that much shit about it because it doesn't have TPA Bavarian cream.
Okay. We gotta find something else now.
Well, I finally tried that Flavor Art Bavarian cream, the new one. I like it a lot. I really do.
You tried the Flavor Art one?
Yeah, I put it in my challenge recipe for this week, or for this month.
I don't think I've any of the ones yet.
Are we up? Am I up?
Yeah, you're up.
So this is Pilot Blues. It's had several different names over the years, and still working on it. But Stewart's gas station around me makes ice cream, and one of the ice creams they make is a blueberry pie in the sky, and it's absolutely delicious. Again, with like berries and berry flavored things, I think there's a huge difference between something being berry or blueberry flavored and then something that is what it is, but it contains blueberries. And that's what this is, as you can see in the picture. It's not like a blueberry flavored ice cream. It's not like the ice cream looks purple or blue or something. Like they added a bunch of flavoring to it to make what it is. This ice cream, they actually took like freeze-dried blueberries and swirled it in there, and I'm sure they used some little concentrate to help the taste of it a bit, but the ice cream looks like ice cream. It doesn't look like some strange food dyed science project. And I like that. And I don't really like I don't like strawberry ice cream. I don't like ice cream with berries on it. We know this. I don't really care for fruits, but this ice cream is really good. And so in the pie dough part of it, I'm pretty sure they probably just added cookie dough bits to it, but they're like colored differently. Like looks like they use a bit more sugar or something or flour to make it.
See if you can you scroll down so we can actually see?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Yeah, thank you.
But they added something more to make it like shortbread cookie dough, so it's more emulates like a pie dough crust ball than cookie dough balls. So to do that, I used lemon meringues pie at a super low amount because it's not and cupcake batter. It's not like the entirety of the vape. It's just one of those exhale accents that you kind of like pick up on every now and then in the exhale. But for the blueberry, we have Flavor West blueberry at 4% and 1% of Flavor West blueberry muffin. I don't know if I said that right. Who cares? That is a bright blueberry combo right there. And I was trying to go after the same kind of blueberries that was in that ice cream. Mm-hmm. And if you try this ice cream and have a bottle of Flavor West blueberry muffin in your hand and you like try it and then smell the bottle or like do like a knuckle test, you're like, there's literally no difference. Someone at Flavora was like eating this ice cream when they made this. Like I'm completely honest. Like it's scary how close they are to each other.
And maybe Bryson took a trip to New York.
Yeah, I don't know, or it's good stuff. So great job, guys.
Yeah, the only thing in that recipe I do not have is the cupcake batter. Everything else I have.
Frank, every fucking time.
Of course. I'm always missing one,
Always missing the good shit.
Of course.
I got everything for that one.
I think at the end of the year, I'm just gonna give you a huge list of the dank things you need to own. Just forget everything else you were gonna buy and just get everything on this list first, and then we can move on with our lives.
I can make it.
So
it looks good.
My phone's dinging. We got fantasy football at 7 p.m. Eastern. So.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have the ice cream. But I'll continue. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's interesting though, because Cap lemon meringue pie, I think that's an ingredient that Fresh has been using in his ice creams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he has a custard base that he uses for Liquid Barn vanilla ice cream at that percent, and then he adds like
0.5% of flavor of vanilla pudding.
Yeah.
And sometimes he throws a little bit of biscuit in there.
Now he's adding, to make it an ice cream, he's adding the lemon meringue pie.
Yeah,
and I don't remember the percentage, but it's like, and then he adds like whatever fruit, and it's really good. The one that I mixed up, he did.
I'll tell you right now, when the West Coast Vape Expo.
Yeah, that's the one.
I mixed it like 120 of that.
That's what I'm thinking of ECC on that side.
Yeah, Mop had
lemon meringue pie at 3% though.
Yeah, 3%. Yeah.
Well, in his, because now when you can taste the lemon in it, and
it steeps out
ice cream.
Yeah, that lemon will fade out.
Give it like a week and a half or something, or like a week to steep.
Yeah, I still got a little bit of it. About a month old, and you can't taste the lemon in it anymore. You still get everything else.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just noticed that lemon meringue pie, and it just like triggered that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
that we can talk about it real quick. The Capella's lemon meringue pie is definitely a versatile thing that people should have in their arsenal. It covers three things. A very non-invasive lemon that kind of works to blend into your recipes. It also kind of hits like a dense white cream with the meringue part in it. And then this it's like the most minute grain that I've ever gotten in a concentrate, but it does have a little bit of texture lingering in the back there for the pie part, the pie crust. So those three things can be pretty beneficial to your recipes, even if you're not trying to make a lemon vape. Like lemon, as we know, is used to boost certain things, certain flavors to brighten them up and push them towards a top note rather than letting them hang in the back. The meringue part of it can add a little bit of body to your like fullness and cream to your recipe. And then that, like I've been using lemon meringue pie in my new Fruit Loops recipe because Capella's Fruit Circles is good and all, and we are very much trying to avoid that lemon taste, but it does lack like the little bit of lemon that Fruit Loops have in them. So a little bit of that Capella's lemon meringue pie, you're helping the lemon in the Fruit Loops, you're helping the milk with the meringue, and then you're also helping the cereal grain texture with the pie part. And you only need 0.25 or 0.5% if you're using it with cereal 27 or Flavor West hazelnut like we commonly do with Fruit Loops. So if you want to go check that out, it's on Drop by on ATF rings.
Yeah, Kathy's asking, are all sweeteners pretty much the same? No, they do what they all pretty much do the same job, but yeah, there's a lot of different. Some of them are harder on coils than others. Some of them are stronger. Like Capella Super Sweet, it's going to destroy your coils even at 0.5%. And
it's to me, the way I look at it, it's how you want to sweeten your recipe.
Yeah.
If you want to, for some reason, I don't know why, but if you want to mute your recipe and sweeten it at the same time, use TPA sweetener. Because that's what it'll do. And that's what I used in the very beginning and couldn't understand why. I was like, this tastes great, but stuff's like, I have like empty pockets in my recipe. And then there's like some sweetness. It's like, here's your recipe. Here's TPA sweetener. TPA sweetener comes into the recipe and like picks weeds out and fills it with like this okay sweetness. And then so you're just left with like empty pockets of like, where did the flavor go? But there's sweetness.
Yeah, like the cotton candy, replace the weeds in your garden.
The thing with TPA sweetener too is it's made with all the things that some flavors might already have in them. One of them being ethyl maltol. So just be careful with that. Capella's Super Sweet. Someone argued with me that it's just sucralose and something else. I'm sorry, but if you go on to Capella's website, it is much more than that.
Yeah, they'll tell you right on there.
They have sodium carbonate. They have citric acid. They contains a lot of different shit. But all those things that it contains can benefit your recipe where they may lack stuff. Like the citric acid, if you're not using a lemon already, can benefit stuff like berries and stuff. It can boost them, but it can also add too much. Like citric acid and malic acid just don't pair well together at all. They're another thing that, like, when you take too much of malic acid together, you can run into this with light berries and blueberries and stuff. You can add too much malic acid to a recipe and it'll taste like soy sauce. And it's very, very gross. So don't do that. But so back on the super sweet, that already contains the citric acid, sucralose, and some other things, ethyl maltol, and I think ethyl alcohol. I'm not too sure, but it contains a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Generally, that's the majority of what commercial companies are using is Capella's Super Sweet because it just handles a lot of stuff right off the bat for them. Another thing that a lot of companies are using is Flavor West sweetener too, and that is to me one of the better ones to use. It doesn't contain. We don't know what it contains because you're gonna have to pry that out of Flavor West, and good luck with that. Getting any information out of that company because they're just gangsters about being flavor concentrate company. They just don't care, and that's okay. But it's the more forgiving on your recipe. If you think about Flavor West as a company, they are a candy making company before they are a vaping flavor company, or even a culinary company too. They started out making concentrates for candy. So I prefer their sweetener because it has the best usage all around, whether it be for a candy type profile, a bakery type profile, all of that. It's just straight sucralose with nothing else in it. So that's why I use it the most, and it's 1% will shine nicely in a recipe just fine. If you were trying not to use any sweeteners, or if you're trying to use a low amount of Flavor West sweetener, if you're used to using like 3% of it for some reason, and you want to start weaning yourself off of so much sweetener, start adding things like Flavor Art meringue or Flavor Art marshmallow into your mixes. And that will add body and sweetness along with your sweetener already. And it'll start to get you to see how sweet that 1% really is. I don't think people notice how sweet things are until they step into DIY.
Now, Subvapes had a quick question before we wrap it up. He's asking about Fairground candy floss / cotton candy. He needs to make it for a new vapor using a pen style setup. I'm not familiar with that one. I mean, anything cotton candy. I mean, your TPA, ethyl maltol is basically cotton candy.
So you gotta pay attention to the flavor of cotton candy that you're making, and the concentrate. So, like for example, Capella's blue raspberry cotton candy that might already have some ethyl maltol in it, which is the same thing Flavor West and TPA cotton candy are. Might already have all of those cotton candy properties. So don't add them if you don't need them. But first, what I recommend is you gotta focus on the type of cotton candy you're trying to make first, and then keep it simple. Another one, Flavor West blueberry cotton candy, that already has ethyl maltol in it. Honestly, I think it's the same thing as Flavor West blueberry, just with ethyl maltol, and they just call it Flavor West blueberry cotton candy. But don't add anything that you don't need, and keep it really, really simple. James Rivera in the chat asked about erythritol.
Yes.
That you're going to get a lot of mixed opinions about. Some people swear by it, and most people think that it's just a waste of time. It's a placebo effect. It's not really a sweetener or anything. It's not used in culinary as a sweetener. It's used as a placebo effect to trick your taste buds into thinking that it's eating something sweet, but it's not.
I like what LabWorks says. White chocolate can be used in small amounts as a sweetener. Yeah, you can definitely do that. If Flavor's white chocolate, like 0.25% or something, you can definitely use that.
Yeah, I mean, seeing as we're talking about sweeteners right now, I will always condone and promote the usage of finding the right flavors and the right applications at the right percentages to add sweetness or sweetener into your recipe without using a sweetener. And that's why I suggest like Flavor Art's meringue as one of them. That's just it's Flavor Art, whatever you want it to be, baby. Yeah. And if Flavor Art, you want to hire me to sell your flavors, I totally will do that for you.
Yeah, because especially in the beginning, I was instead just going with the Wayne Walker effect and throwing super sweet and everything. I did that for a while, and then Fresh had talked about using ethyl maltol, and I tried that, and it was muting stuff out. And then I started learning about how to use different flavors to sweeten up, using to brighten up things, like using citrus stuff to bring up lighter berries and stuff like that. And the white chocolate definitely to add a little bit of sweetness, because white chocolate by itself I cannot stand. Like actually eating white chocolate, I think it's disgusting myself.
Yeah,
kind of like dirty. It's kind of like someone filled your sock up with dirty milk and asked you to drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what white chocolate is to me. I don't know what the hell the whole hype is.
Marzipan brings a nice sweetness. Yeah.
Dark chocolate is the real MVP, people. Okay.
You get that nice cocoa, that bitterness. Oh yeah, that bittersweet.
Yeah, marzipan's nice when it's not the driest thing on this earth.
Yeah,
but it's good. Flavor Arts almond. That's another one.
Yeah, it has a sweetness to it.
That's neglected as all hell, and that actually
is a great one.
It goes extremely well with berries and to brighten berries up in bakeries. No one ever thinks to do this, but it will do that. Especially with a little bit of lemon too. But if you can forget the lemon. Flavor Arts almond. One, it already tastes like a bright nut, like it's one of the brighter tasting nuts that we have available to us. And pairing it with like a vanilla, one of my favorite things is a vanilla almond cream or a vanilla almond tobacco. It's delicious, and I highly recommend people trying that. But almond with berries, it's got like that smooth texture to it, like it doesn't have the grittiness, or it doesn't have like a cookie, like a ground up cookie texture, or like gritty. It tastes like a shaving, like a smooth shaving of almond, and that can be very beneficial into smoothing out fruits or berries that you find to be very harsh. And you won't taste any almond, which is kind of nice too. So there's another good example of finding flavors or using flavors as sweeteners or as accents to bolster or support the other ones you got going on. Yeah, Mary Beth, I like flavor as sweetness too. Especially for those that don't want that like sugar lips, or that like, I don't know, it tastes like someone took a bag of sugar and dumped it into your recipe.
Yeah.
Right.
No matter what you do with the other sweeteners that I mentioned, that's what they're all going to do. So if you're like trying to, say if you're in your recipe development and you're looking up stuff to make, and you go to Google and you type in DIY dessert recipes and they say add 1 cup of sugar, that is what you're doing when you add Capella Super Sweet or Flavor West sweetener, is you're adding that 1 cup of sugar onto your recipe. So pay attention to that, and pay attention to your other flavors, because they might already be adding that 1 cup of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the other thing I'll say about Flavor West sweetener, it seems to be the less harsh on the coils. It's more forgiving. Capella Super Sweet and TFA, as minute as TFA's is, for some reason, I think it's, I guess, the ethyl maltol or something, it will destroy coils and destroy them fast. So
yeah, Flavor West sweetener, I've been using that a lot, and yeah, it doesn't.
It's just as cheap as TPA's, right?
Oh yeah. I gotta buy another bottle of. Actually, I've been making so much of my butterscotch RY4, and I just made it for the Austin winter. Exactly. I got to get one that size, 4 ounce bottle.
The only ounce you need.
I just had the little one to try it out, and that's about gone. So
actually, I just ordered it finally, like yesterday.
Because I've already mixed up like 600 mils of that butterscotch.
Using it.
We can see how much I don't use TPA's sweetener. Look at that full bottle.
Yep.
So if anyone wants it, you know where to find it. Right in my graveyard bin.
All right, gang, we've gone way over and went way off the rails and everything else. So let's
out there.
out of here.
Fuck 'em.
Tammy, once again, thanks for coming in and
Thank you.
out. And you're basically you're a regular now, so anytime you want to come on.
Okay, I appreciate it. Annie just let me know it was getting late.
Yeah. She wants to go out.
She came knocking on the door.
Yeah. So Tammy, where can everybody find you?
Oh, Tam Vapes on ELR and all the flavors, and I hang out and eat, sleep, mix, repeat a lot. Facebook page and DIY Down Under Facebook, and also a lot there. Just a lot there. I don't know. Today, I don't know. You can find me here right now. I just know where I'm at right now, pretty much. So.
All right. Mophead, my brother from another mother with the new ink, just like me. Where can everybody find you, brother?
Yeah, you can find me here on Sundays in the Eat, Sleep, Mix, Repeat Facebook group, DIY Down Under Facebook group, my own channel, Mixin with Mophead. So, hit those like little 3 dots and go subscribe to my channel. And yeah, ELR, ATF, Instagram, all that bullshit.
All right, the moose is loose. Say your piece one last time.
You guys really want to hear me talk the shit some more? You can find me here every Sunday, but at least 20 minutes late each time. But I am odd drop on ATF and on ELR. And yeah, I'm around on the Facebook groups, but not as active as I used to be because I have other stuff that I do.
Right.
Mixing is not all of who I am, as we can very much tell.
But you're an excellent mixer indeed, and you're definitely a wonderful part of the panel.
Yeah, I'd like to keep that wonderful mixer that way. I don't want to, like, Wayne Walker said it, and it's very easy to burn yourself out on this shit. If you ever feel like you're doing that, go out in your garden or something, or go for a walk or something. Do something besides mixing. If you think that you're hitting a rut or you're getting vapor's tongue, take a break, because this shit is not that important.
Like, nobody's going anywhere.
No,
right? Yeah,
we won't be here.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
that's what I always say. It's just fun. Exactly.
And I have definitely, I have definitely fell victim or put myself in the situations where I'm like, oh man, I got to get this recipe right, and it has eaten me alive for like a week straight, months straight, and I won't do that anymore. Like, it's not worth it to me. So have fun with it is what I say.
That's right. As Moose says, think less, mix more. Enjoy it. Enjoy this great hobby. Everybody out there, say advocate. If you're not a member of CASA, go ahead and do it. It's absolutely free to join. If you're, if in your states or wherever you live, your local groups, be active. You don't have to donate a bunch of money or go to every meeting or whatever. Just, stay on top of it. Just keep yourself informed and answer the calls to action. You can find me next Saturday at NVE Richmond, the Richmond Convention Center. I'm going to be there hanging out with some good people, hopefully. You might see me around a very vocal vapors group. I'm going to help, booth. I'm going to help out Christine a little bit. I think find me here. Find me over on ELR, ATF, some shows during the week. So everyone, thanks for coming out. And we will have a show next week. We don't know what the topic is yet, but we'll pull something out of our ass. So have a good day, everybody.
Bachelor party.
If you ever want to do a whole show about cereals, you just say the word.
Oh, you know it.
Maybe one second.
We can just do all the shows about cereals.
All right. See you, everybody. Have a good week. We'll see you next Sunday.
Everyone.
Bye.